Good day everyone, and welcome to our next training session. Today we will be evaluating Vlookups. Vlookups assist in retrieving particular data from tables. So what I've done, very simply, I've set up a table of stock information. We have the item number, description, and the unit cost. Typical information you would find in an inventory master file. So say you called upon to do an analysis or a costing on a particular product, or you require the cost of a particular product for whatever reason within a different spreadsheet or sheet. So what we will use is a Vlookup to retrieve that cost from the table. So select the cell where we require the cost to be returned. Click the FX and look for Vlookup. When we select the formula, we are presented with the argument sheet. The first item is lookup value. What do we want to look up? And we select A102 and we leave it as A14, which is relative referencing, because as we copy the formula down, we want that cell reference to shift. It's very important to note the data set needs to be sorted in ascending order as per the indication on the argument sheet. So I've already done that. Next, we select the table. This should include all columns and rows where you would look to return data from. And what I'm going to do is make this absolute referencing, F4, so that this range does not change as the formula is copied down. So we're looking for A102 in cell A14 within this table, and we want to return, when we find it in this table, we want to return the value in column C. But when inserting, we must use the column number. The leftmost column is column 1, next is column 2, and then column 3. The unit cost is column 3, so we put in the number 3, and immediately you can see the value being returned. Under the range lookup, it gives you the option. It says, is a logical value to find the closest match in the first column? We put in true, or if we leave it blank or put in false, it will give us an exact match, and that is what we're looking for. We're not looking for ballpark numbers. We need to know for item A102 what is the cost. So we will type in false and we click OK. So item A102 has returned a cost of 101 Rand, which corresponds with the table. So similarly, we can copy this formula and paste it to get the other item costs. Now what I've done intentionally, I've put in an item that does not appear in the master list, and this is what Excel will return, #NA, to indicate that it is not found within the data. But we can transform this #NA into more meaningful output by using an if-error formula. So if we incorporate an if-error, meaning if the cell returns an error, what do we do? So we could put a message, and we could say, if there's an error, what is the value if there's an error? And we can put in a message to say, not in master. And there we have our error code showing as not in master. So immediately we can tell that we have a problem with the stock item, and we can investigate that further. Interesting to note, we can actually add in conditional formatting to really value add, particularly when you're working with very, very large data sets. So we can set up a new rule and base that rule on the contents of the cell. We can indicate where the cell value is equal to not in master, we can put in a fill of red. And immediately this draws our attention to the potential issues. So to copy that further, if we took that if error formula and copied it down, again on this particular stock code, it does not appear in the master. It gives us our error message, not in master, and it highlights it in red to draw your attention to it. So you can clearly see Vlookups add value, and when combined with other formulas can give you an indication of where the issues reside within the data set, to make it very simple and very quick to pick up these items. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you. Until next time, goodbye.